about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster.
You're gonna kill someone!
You have nothing to fear if you have nothing to hide.
Well, would you look at all this? You can't turn your head without seeing some Albion imagery. You really can't get away from them.
There's going to be that much less once you're done here. Let's give Camden a break from these eyesores.
Of course, easy peasy.
If you hijack that scissor lift, you could use it to access the rooftop.
Yes, nicely done. That'll get people's attention. Let them know someone is standing up to Albion. Light the spark that they can stand up to.
If nothing else, it'll relieve their eye strain.
Now what?
You need to steal information about Albion's plans. That'll give us what we need to really put the hurt on their operations.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists.
I don't think that is allowed.
Oh God.
Albion have established an operational base in the Royal Court of Justice.
Lovely. So Albion has the power to detain anyone they want, and they hold enough sway over the courts to make fair trials a thing of the past.
Exactly. But it likely means there's information here about how Albion are targeting dissenters, the who and the why. We need that data if we're going to disrupt their operation.
What's going on with that? Lock it down.
You're making this tougher for yourself. Don't make vex.
Run to cover!
I will look. They were around here. Check it out.
Suspect on the run! Checking now. I'm trapped here! Watch us!
This area is being controlled by the GBB. Local British broadcasting. Britain's first news. Fucking asshole. Local British broadcasting. Britain's first news.
Tell me what we've got, Bags.
A list of what Albion consider high-value targets that are threats to the peaceful running of London. See here, a journalist, and this one runs a community shelter. Good God, bar your doors.
What the hell?
All suspected of sowing rebellion or exhibiting tendencies towards. Albion is systematically arresting people even before they rise up. Joke's on them. This list can actually help us find like-minded allies willing to help us. Well done. We're already seeing results from what you've done. That list we found named a journalist in Camden who's been investigating Albion. We reached out, and he's got information that can help us. I think you should meet with him.
Drop a pin on the map for me, would you?
Stadia's shows that there is still a space to combat these false truths.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device,
This is London. You're listening to me, Tash, Buccaneer.
Heard you need a hand. How can I help?
You're the crew that's been sticking it to Albion. Can't believe someone else is. Thought I was alone, right? Not doing much, just putting the word out. But you? Taking action, mate.
It's our duty, love. If we don't fight back, Albion will accumulate more and more power, and we can't have that now, can we? So, let's talk.
Almost got clipped finding this. All of Albion's operational data for the entire city. Convoy routes, surveillance targets, assets. It's all there. Thinking you can make good use of that.
Well, I'm pleased as punch.
Here's a sample. Albion's closed King's Cross to the public, right? What people don't know is that they're using it as their logistics centre. Materials, troops, whatever. A lot of it runs through there. You want to give the people a huge boost? Hit that place. Put it out of commission, and you'll severely hamstring Albion's operations here in Camden. Hell, everywhere.
The next step's clear, then.
The demands of being a DedSec operative are all-consuming, so taking app gigs is a good way to make some extra quid that works around your new schedule. Lots of people will pay well to have their sensitive packages handled with care, and some will even pay you for deliveries. Ha ha!
Albion's operational plans are just what we needed to really get some traction. We'll have to take a close look at this. Now, how do we take King's Cross offline?
Albion's housed a massive hybrid. Getting to that generator ain't gonna be easy. They've locked it up tighter since I last saw.
Anyone have a suggestion?
My news drones are still in here. They should be functional. You can use one of them. Probably have better luck piloting it too, yeah?
Well, causing a power surge in a hybrid powered generator isn't like making a toasty. We're going to need detailed specifications.
Best look into it. Take a look at this.
Cool, looks bloody complicated. News he's got a pretty functional camera. Would a picture do you, Bagley?
It would indeed. According to this, there's an override code that'll get us into the generator's system. That's it. Use the code on the generator and I can trigger a power surge.
It should be enough to take King's Cross offline. And the rail system too.
Awaiting area crime report. Investigation underway.
Here we go.
We got a gold mine of information out of St. Pancras. Albion convoys, informants, gear, you name it. Everything we need to ignite the people of London, like we did in Camden. Derail Albion's operations and give the people a reason to rise up, borough by borough. The more we do that, the more we'll get allies flocking to the cause. We'll show London that DedSec is here for them.
That was off the chain, mate. I knew DedSec weren't the bad guys Albion was saying. Now the rest of Camden will too. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Now that you've shown the borough what DedSec is really all about, there are going to be folks wanting to join up. A lot of people have been looking for a way to fight back. In fact, there's one in particular I suspect will contact you very soon. I happen to know they're champing at the bit.
We'll be glad to have them. It'll take all sorts to spank London back to normal. Hooray! Another friend to raise hell with. Welcome to DedSec.
Yeah, this is gonna be real. Let's do it.
Fabulous.
Could you step back, please?
Well, fuck me, you're still alive. I owe Sabine a tenner. Not only that, but your resistance handiwork just opened up a whole new source of information. So now I spy with my hypothetical eye something interesting at the Ministry of Civic Management.
What is it?
The Signals Intelligence Response Service, or SIRS, or the Earl Grey Gestapo, have developed a surveillance technology called AR reconstruction. It's the bleeding edge of privacy rights violation, and thus it could be very useful in our attempts to find Zero Day.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government.
I'm here.
In theory, the AR reconstruction should allow me to use various sources of surveillance data to rebuild past events. Access a data relay, and I can scrape all the metadata for this area.
All units, proceed to alarm location. Acknowledge, over.
Yep.
Sweeping the area near the alarm.
What was that? No, the lighting shit there. Shift over it. Yeah, you got it.
That's it. Now, let's take this autocratic wet dream for a test drive.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
Cool. It's like watching people from another dimension.
You're right. We definitely need this extremely cool thing I want for investigating Zero Day. Shit, for some reason I can't clone it to our servers. All right, access the network here and let's see if we can't find out where to nick one. That's the CTOS up there.
Albion operations can cause unintended disruptions to traffic and public transportation.
Aha! The SIRS has deployed this technology at their HQ, and I've just nabbed their manual on how to set up the system. Now, Scarpa, you can't steal their toy if they throw you in the gulag.
All right, Bags, hit me. How do I get you this AR reconstruction stuff?
The program is hosted on a server that's on the roof of SIRS HQ. All you have to do is grab the whole thing, then take it to a few high-density locations so I can recalibrate it to the DeadSet network and clone my own version.
Right, cool, no problem. Just one question. How do I get on the roof?
We need to find someone with access to a cargo or construction drone that can fly it off of there. Perfect opportunity to recruit a heavy lifter to the cause, I'd say.
Bags, help me out here, yeah? What kind of heavy lifter am I looking for?
Well, let's put our thinking caps on, shall we? Now, who in London would have access to a construction drone? Could it be a construction worker?
Obviously.
Not so hard, was it? There's an active construction yard nearby. I dare say you'll probably be able to find a construction worker to recruit there. Here's the coordinates.
Former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all...
They look promising.
Occupation? Check. Drone? Check. This could be the one. Oh, they have a beastly drone friend. I mean, the person looks efficient too.
They look promising.
Occupation? Check. Drone? Check. This could be the one. Oh, they have a beastly drone friend. I mean, the person looks efficient too.
You look like someone who's ready to fight the power.
Shit, are you saying you're dead sick? I could really use your help.
We're ready for anything. What have you got?
Well, I'm fucking stupid is the main thing. I had a medical issue that, of course, our completely gutted NHS doesn't cover. So I went to Clan Kelley and, long story short, now I'm a slave. Do me a solid and free me.
Got it. Leave it to us.
Clan Kelley will bleed our new friend dry if we don't do something. This particular construction site is a money laundering front for a Kelley chapter out of Camden Market. Any record of the debt would be stored there.
Noted.
Anything that threatened them or they disagreed with?
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation.
Don't have the right tool for the job? You can exchange your gadget for a different one that's better suited to the situation.
This is London Calling.
Jeez, the Kelleys sure have completely taken over, huh? Look at all of this. When did they get this big anyway?
You're looking for a terminal or some kind of device that Clan Kelley would have stored the debt records on. While the drones observing your every move might make you feel like you're living in a city-shaped prison, what's bad news for society is good news for DedSec. You can hack those nosy little buggers and use them to scout ahead. Right, you can erase all record of their debt, putting our new friend back into the black and, more importantly, out of Clan Kelley's reach.
Brilliant.
Has that door been hacked? Fucking hell!
I'm coming for you. Come on, give it up. I need some cover. Ah! I'll have a look.
Cannabis and fentanyl together at last through the miracle of genetics.
Have we got some time to try? Just kidding. Sorta.
Transfer complete.
Search around here. There's no one here, but I'll keep looking.
Oh, they're gone. Well, I feel like a right knob.
They're shit out of luck. You're on Clan Kelley Court now, all right?
Good news. You're free. We wiped your debt with the Kelleys so you don't have to work for them anymore.
Wait a minute, you don't seem like terrorists at all. Did the state-controlled media lie to me? But seriously, thank you.
You should totally join up with DedSec. Kick ass for a cause.
Yeah, all right. Fuck it.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcasting has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around behavioral economics, things that would just keep you scrolling or keep you listening or keep you looking for more information. The second is that kind of environment favors sensationalism. And so you got more sensational headlines and more sensational stories, and it didn't matter whether they were true or not. It just kept people in and it kept them in the loop. So we ended up in a situation where nobody trusted anything and nobody believed anything at all. And that is the perfect environment for an authoritarian voice to come in and say, no, wait, we are the truth. So the ground for this environment really got created when we had suddenly authoritarian politicians everywhere, and anything that threatened them or they disagreed with, they would call it disinformation. That's disinformation. That's fake news. And again, we got in a situation where nobody really believed anything. And the trouble is, if you were telling the truth, it's very hard to get your
The DedSec resurgence have prompted Parliament to approve the use of lethal force for Albion contractors. CEO Nigel had this to say.
DedSec terrorists will quickly find that Albion, unlike the police force of this city, is battle-tested and proven in the field.
The Prime Minister's office has called this shoot-to-kill mandate a drastic but necessary measure.
Pretty mental, huh? Here, your new optic.
Guess this is a moment of truth, yeah? Feels like signing up means kissing my normal life goodbye.
Normal? What's normal about the government having the right to kill us?
Yeah, I know it's a hellscape. I'm not blind to that. Just let me say goodbye to everything I care about.
You're not leaving anything behind. You're just making sure everything will still be there tomorrow.
Yeah. You're right. Let's go.
Welcome to the Resistance.
Right. Welcome aboard, etc., etc. I'll give you the speech later. Right now, we need you and your big, strong drone friend to get on top of SRS HQ and steal a server. Think you can handle that?
Right. Going now.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over.
All right, we're here.
I'll highlight the server with the AR reconstruction software. It's out of reach, so you'll need to use a heavy cargo drone to steal it.
All right, server's loaded up. I suppose you got it from here. Oh, and don't blow up.
We're doing some crazy stuff with Bagley, yeah? I'm on it.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
This will do. Remain in the area until I've downloaded enough data to the server. Download complete. I need a wider sample of data, so I'm pushing you the coordinates to a new location. This is brilliant. Look at this. It's compiling data from the surveillance infrastructure. Nearby CTOS drones, civilian optics, CCTV, and then it assembles those scraps into what happened in this location 24 hours ago. Fantastic.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
Alright, scraping data from optics, CTOS cameras, microphones, laptops. Say, do you reckon SRS uses this to watch people shag? Fucking hell, do they use it for anything but watching people shag?
Oh, Bags, we've got some company.
Well, shit, can you do anything to lose your new friends? Maybe invite them to a pottery night or overshare something personal. Whatever you do, just get to the last location in one piece.
Fuck me. Okay.
Transfer complete. I'm missing one last data set. Pushing you the coordinates to the location now.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
Drones are en route to suspect.
bags. What do I do?
Don't let the drones destroy the server before I'm done. Get out of the lorry and take care of them. Shoot them, throw rocks at them, destroy them psychologically with cyberbullying. Just keep them busy until the transfer's complete. Alright, I've got it. Now, we can't lug around this server forever. We should probably wipe our prints off it anyway.
Go on.
I'll overload the CPUs to cause a power spike and destroy the battery unit. The electromagnetic pulse should destroy both the server and the drones. So, you know, run! Well, that was fun, wasn't it? We pulled off a heist, made life a bit harder for the tyrants of the world, and most importantly, I got a new toy to play with. Now, run along back to the safe house. Sabine wants you and your new teammates for a briefing.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, and Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from his corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model.
Well done, team. It's good to see the safe house filling up again. The only way we're going to keep London from falling into total oppression is by rebuilding the resistance. We need to recruit, train, build back our arsenal. The people are itching to rise up and take their city back. We just need to show them that DedSec are fighting along with them.
That, but also, I want to stop the greedy dickheads exploiting London.
Albion PMCs have occupied this city. Anyone they don't like gets locked up and beaten.
Yeah, and there's Clan Kelley running all the crime and shit. And Albion won't lift a fucking finger.
Fair, but remember that this zero-day hacker group is still out there. They took out DedSec once, and it's a good bet they'll try again. I believe they were responsible for the bombings and framed DedSec. With your help, I plan to get to the bottom of this mystery.
I'd say that's a full docket. Enough talk. Let's unfuck London.
Turn it on.